a KQED television production.
I'm telling you right now, I am hungry.
Check Please Bay Area is made possible by the members of KQED and by
Redwood Credit Union, community banking for the North Bay and San Francisco. Business and personal, online and mobile, plus nationwide ATMs. Banking for people who call this place home.
Sutter Health CPMC, the new Mission Bernal Hospital, opens August 2018 with all private rooms and comprehensive maternity services. cpmc2020.org.
Total Wine & More, offering more than 8,000 wines, 2,500 beers, and 3,000 spirits. Total Wine & More, now with 7 Bay Area locations. TotalWine.com. IRG has thousands of surfaces in stock now. Surfaces, selection, service. IRG at MarbleCompany.com. Oakland International Airport, now with flights all over the world. iFlyOAK.com.
Hi, I'm Leslie Sabraco. Welcome to Check Please Bay Area, the show where regular Bay Area residents review and talk about their favorite restaurants. Now we have 3 guests, and each one recommends one of their favorite spots, and the other 2 go check them out to see what they think. Foodie Phyllis Bowie began her culinary adventures at the tender age of 7, cooking 3-course meals for her family. Now she's turned her passion for food into her own public access show, where she meets chefs and adapts their recipes for you to make at home. Sales director Peter Weinkoop has a splendid super sweet gig selling specialty chocolate. Whether it's 70% bittersweet, semi-sweet milk, or white, only the best will do. And PR maven Lisa Barker has spent nearly 2 decades singing the praises of Napa County and its wines. But at heart, she's still a North Carolina girl who likes to kick up her feet and tuck into some tasty smoked ribs. Luckily, she's found the one place that has everything her heart desires at Bounty Hunter Wine Bar and Smokin BBQ in downtown Napa.
I think what we offer here at Bounty Hunter, it's luxury service with a blue jeans attitude. The founder of this company, Mark Pogue, started this company as a way to get rare and hard to find wines to the rest of the country. A lot of these wines don't leave California or they don't leave Napa Valley. So he kind of fashioned himself as the Bounty Hunter. We have over 400 wines that we serve. Everything from a $15 bottle of wine to a $5,000 bottle of wine. California wines, they're big, they're rich, they're fruit driven, and oftentimes they need a food that is equally as bold to pair with them. And there's no American cuisine that's more bold than barbecue.
The key to great barbecue is really just, you gotta be very patient with it. There's many different styles of barbecue all throughout the country. You have your Carolina barbecue, Kansas City barbecue, you have your Texas barbecue. Here at Bounty Hunter out in California, we kind of pull from all of the regions and make our own styles.
My favorite is the brisket. The brisket is the star.
Oh, my favorite's definitely the pulled pork. It's so juicy and flavorful and moist.
Really, the pulled pork?
Yeah, I love the pork.
Yeah.
You're a North Carolina girl.
Yeah.
What does that mean when it comes to barbecue?
I love barbecue. I can smell it from a mile away. And so that's the one thing, as you walk up in the aromatics of all that smoked meat, if that's your thing, it's
it's my thing, honey.
It's definitely there, and it will pull you right in.
We parked right behind the smoker. So as we got out of the car, we're like, yep, this is it. This is going to be a good time. And then when we got there, it was amazing in terms of all the dead animals on the walls.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, they definitely serve meat here, no question about it.
This is not a vegan-friendly restaurant.
Do not take your vegan friend there.
No.
They will, yeah, that's not going to work out for them.
Yeah.
All options for seating are basically high top tables.
Right.
So that's one thing that I didn't love. My wife, she's 5'2", so her legs were dangling the whole time. She couldn't feel her feet by the end. but that's okay.
She should have just put them up on your lap.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what husbands are for.
There you
See what I'm
go.
saying?
Now I look like the bad guy on TV.
Yeah.
Thank you, Leslie. But it was a great experience. The meat, fantastic.
Well, the barbecue platter is great. It's a good thing to get if you want to kind of explore and choose your own adventure here. They have the pulled pork, which is my absolute favorite, the St. Louis style ribs, and then nice brisket.
We spent the $7 extra to get the chicken as well, so we literally tried all the meats.
Right.
Starting with the brisket, which was fantastic. The bits of fattiness in there were little flavor explosions in your mouth, which were fantastic. The ribs fall off the bone, but the chicken, which they're famous for, which on the meat platter is shredded, just tasted like chicken. It wasn't anything special.
Didn't rock the world.
Didn't do it for me. But the array of sauces, so there's 3 sauces there. Each one of those sauces, fantastic. They had like a classic barbecue, a St. Louis style, and then a mustard. Oh,
now,
fantastic.
Phyllis, are you drooling over there? Or are you?
No, actually,
what
I'm trying to think of what my mother always told me, which is if you don't have anything good to say, don't say it at all.
She's looking at Lisa. Look at her. Look at the sad eyes. Look at the sad eyes.
But I will tell you, now maybe I had allergies, I don't know, but I did not smell what I love. I love barbecue.
Yeah.
I love it. I got the platter, just like you. I didn't smell the smoke, and I have to say it was disappointing. First of all, I always look for the smoke ring. I didn't see a smoke ring. That's the first indicator. And when I bit into it, the texture was okay, but I didn't taste any smoke. None,
really?
like none at all.
Ribs?
On the that's the first thing, on the ribs. I didn't taste it. And then I said, okay, let me give it a try. Let me try the sauces. And you said you loved the sauces? I found each one of them disappointing.
You know what, Phyllis? At that point, then you just add some whiskey.
Yeah.
I added wine, so when we get to talk about that,
pour in some
when
whiskey,
we
girl,
do
and
some
then
wine,
Yeah.
so I'll tell you
Okay,
two
please.
things that I enjoyed. I
Lisa's
did.
drinking over here.
And it was actually the last thing I tasted on the platter, which was the brisket. I loved it.
Okay.
Just enough burnt in and fatty, because I usually if I get it
fattiness.
sliced, I always ask for fatty. Barbecue is not the time
No,
to think
no,
about
no,
calories
no,
or anything.
no.
Second thing, wine. Hands down on the wine.
Wine's good.
Well, it really is a destination for wine. I mean, I could do a whole show on the wine list at Bounty Hunter.
Fabulous.
And their whiskeys, their scotch, I mean, they have a tequila flight called To Kill You Softly, honey. Killing me softly. And what about appetizers? Did anybody kick off with something?
I had the pimento cheese dip, which was fantastic.
That's my favorite.
So it's chopped cheese with pimentos and the cheesed toast. So you got cheese on cheese, the crispiness, the spiciness, and then the recommendation was to pair it with a rosé, which was fantastic, which we bought 2 bottles of to kick it off.
Nice.
So
Did you have any appetizers?
I didn't
Phyllis?
have a starter, but I will say that the coleslaw that came with the platter, that was delicious. So along with the brisket.
Well, I'm with Phyllis with that cold slaw. It's
Yeah.
one of my favorites, like crunchy, bright, creamy, tangy, like it's perfect.
We got the happy hour. 2-ounce glasses and 5-ounce glasses, half off.
Right.
So 2-ounce glasses for like $2.50.
Yeah, right.
Are you kidding me?
Right.
Lined them all up.
Right.
And then I looked, I said, oh my God, the array.
And just because you need more calories, what about dessert?
Ooh, dessert. I had the bread pudding. So they use a rye bread. It just made such an interesting, it was not like your typical bread pudding, just fantastic.
And you can walk off the Indulgence in downtown Napa.
Exactly.
You're right in downtown
low
Napa.
ditch
You're
is
right on the
beautiful.
river. All right, this is your restaurant, Lisa. Wrap it up for us.
I think Bounty Hunter is just a great place if you want a casual atmosphere, a good variety of barbecue, and a great variety of wine.
All right, and Phyllis.
I would say their happy hours, if you're on a budget, it's a good way to taste wines and then also explore wines. Absolutely.
All right. And Peter.
All right, a meat lover's heaven, paradise, if you will. A place where the meat falls off the bone, but you might fall off your stool if you drink too much wine. There you go.
All right, if you would like to try Bounty Hunter Wine Bar and Smokin BBQ, it's on 1st Street at Main in Napa. The telephone number is 707-226-3976. It's open every day for lunch and dinner. Reservations are not accepted, and the average dinner tab per person without drinks is around $30. It was love at first bite for Peter in the City of Lights, with Parisian classics like steak frites, coq au vin, and duck confit. Now he enjoys those same gastronomic delights just a few miles from home, at RêVE in Lafayette.
If you're in Paris, everyone has their favorite little restaurant. There's a lot of love and a lot of passion in it, and so we just wanted to create that neighborhood restaurant. I'm Laura Magoo, and I'm the owner of RêVE.
I'm Paul Magoo, Le QG, chef owner at RêVE Bistro in Lafayette. The only food I know to cook is French. Simple, affordable, using fresh product. Rêve means dream in French. My dream, the dream of our family, just to have our own place.
There's some bistro classics that are always on our menu, and then Paul will experiment a little bit with things like sweetbreads or veal kidneys, and we found that there's people that are looking for it. When you come from a background like working for 2- and 3-star Michelin restaurants, you learn the fine things of service, and we have a small staff that is all just really committed. We're really balancing having a family business with a family. Our oldest daughter is 10, and she comes in maybe once a month. For us as husband and wife, there's just this excitement of working together and working as a team and being able to create something. At the end of the day, it's like, yeah, we did this.
Everyday hard work, it's everyday joy.
All right, Peter, you are a Paris lover, just Paris or all things French?
I love all things French.
Right.
Absolutely. But French food, I mean, it's my favorite food outside of mom's cooking, of course.
Right.
Yeah.
And you found that at RêVE?
Yes, absolutely. So
Which
RêVE
is dream,
Bistro,
of course, right?
Yeah, you're right, and it is a dream.
Right.
Finally, I went to France last year, and I said, "Oh my gosh, these little bistros remind me of RêVE Bistro so much," and made it that much better after my trip to Paris.
Well, Chef is of course French
Yeah,
and has worked in France as well as in San Francisco, and he brings that touch to it.
Absolutely. So you get a culinary experience there that is on par with what you would imagine a Michelin star restaurant would be, at very fair prices. It's traditional bistro food, but it's made fantastically, and you can tell it's made with love.
What is your
I always
your
get steak
dish?
frites.
Okay.
I always get steak frites,
Okay.
and you know, a lot of people like, you're gonna go to this restaurant and get the steak frites.
Yes.
Absolutely,
Yes, I am.
and it's a
Oui,
really
oui, oui.
yes, absolutely. The meat, yeah, it's fantastic and it's cooked to perfection, but it's all about the sauce. The green peppercorn sauce with the French fries, which these are the best French fries you will ever have. And so you take the French fries, you dip it in the sauce, and you put it in, it's a party in your mouth every time.
Could you please give Phyllis this a little cool
Yes, I get emotional.
She needs to
I get
cool off
emotional.
over there.
Exactly. It is magical. And you know, and that's just one entree.
I literally thought I'd walked into Paris, both me and my taste buds. The frites that you talk about, what I traditionally get are the mussels and the frites. Because I like them.
Yeah. The sauce.
But
You
then
put
they
those
get all
frites in that
soggy,
sauce.
and
Yeah.
you got to get it in the sauce, and I was eating. Well, actually, I ordered another order of the
double
frites.
frites? You
I
double frites?
I double frites. I double frites. Because I still had sauce left. What?
Don't
Come
judge
on.
her.
Really, no
She's a double
judgment.
fritter.
I'm never
no,
double
you
free.
know how? Really?
I'm double
shit, I
free
beat
next
you on that.
time.
Yeah.
Double free
You
next
got to
time.
get all the sauce.
Oh,
all
absolutely.
of it. So it was just fantastic. It was just fantastic.
Same thing. I got the mussels and the frites. That's my favorite,
my
right?
favorite, too.
It was so good. It was so aromatic when they just like brought it to the table. I was so excited. The only thing I'll say is that there just wasn't a lot of sauce in my dish. Maybe
Okay.
Chef just forgot to add it. And while I loved the frites, they were thick and kind of breaded. I thought for me that it would set better with a burger. So good though. I mean, so
good.
delicious. But it was still so good.
Did you get anything else? Did you guys start with anything?
I had the oysters,
Okay.
which
Oh,
they
you
were
did?
they were
Were they
wonderful.
perfect?
They were perfect, lovely and briny.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
they had a great wine selection.
I mean, you could do it by carafe.
Yeah.
You could do it by glass.
Yes,
You could do it
yeah.
by bottles.
And what I really love, and a little bit of the snob about, is their French onion soup.
Oh, it's really good.
And
it's
it was
fantastic.
perfect. It's
Chef
that
the front door.
Gruyere, and it's like gooey and
and
creamy, and but a little crusty
But a little
too.
crusty at the top.
Oh, you
and
gotta
you
get that crust.
break through it, and it's all that beef broth and Worcestershire, and
I'm just letting you all have a moment right here. I'm just
No,
sort of
really.
looking
No,
over, letting
really.
you all
Yeah.
have a
No,
moment.
really.
All right, so these guys have discovered some amazing gems on the menu. What else do you get when you're there?
So the appetizer I always start with is foie gras torchon, which is fantastic. I'm like an artist there, putting the little bit of green, the little bit of foie gras with a little bit of balsamic. Yes, exactly, with the bread in
With
them.
the cheese puffs.
Oh yeah, you gotta get the cheese puff.
Fluffy, light, airy, and
They're
just
heavenly
like nothing.
balls of love, Gougere.
Just poof, just poof.
And what about
Goodness.
coq au vin?
Oh, coq au vin. It's all about the sauce and the noodles and the chicken and the chicken skin cooked perfectly and crispy.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. So me and the wife, we usually go steak frites for me, coq au vin for her, and I eat.
And then foie gras for
almost.
the
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Spin the table.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just priming y'all for dessert.
The chocolate mousse, it is done to perfection. Okay, so it's light. It's full of chocolate flavor. They have the salt on top that just sets off the chocolate in your mouth. It is absolutely fantastic. We get it every time. But
And you work with chocolate every day.
I'm a chocolate expert, Leslie. Okay, so I know what I'm talking about.
Willy Wonka.
That's right. That's right.
Well, this is your spot, Peter, so give us a quick summary.
Okay, if you want to be transported to the City of Lights in the East Bay and have the best steak frites and the best mousse au chocolat you've ever had, make a trip to RêVE Bistro.
All right, and Lisa.
Great neighborhood French bistro with some of the best service in the Bay Area.
All right, and Phyllis.
If you're on a budget and you want to try this brother who's doing things in Lafayette, a little Paris in the hood. Fantastic.
All right, if you would like to try RêVE, it's on Moraga Road in Lafayette. The telephone number is 925-385-0793. It's open for dinner Tuesday through Saturday. Reservations are recommended, and the average dinner tab per person without drinks is around $45. To wrap yourself in cashmere is the ultimate in indulgence. The same is true of a great Merlot. I call it the cashmere of the wine world because when you take a sip of a classic version, Merlot wraps you in vinous softness. Now, Merlot may have taken some hits during the movie Sideways, but it's never lost its ranking as one of the top red grapes of the world. Its home is the Bordeaux region of France, where it shares the stage with blending partners Cabernet Sauvignon and Cabernet Franc, but it takes center stage in Saint-Emilion, producing wines of silky elegance. In Washington state, Merlot has reached cult status for its sumptuously structured versions, while in California's Napa Valley, it's found a home away from home. In fact, Duckhorn's Three Palms Vineyard Merlot was recently ranked the #1 wine in the world. Hey, does anybody have a corkscrew? What happened? San Francisco native Phyllis Bowie is fiercely proud of her roots and keenly aware of the changes in the city she grew up in. She values restaurants that foster a connection to the past, and one of her favorites is an Italian joint in the heart of the Richmond district. It's called Fiorella.
Fiorella means little flower in Italian and also is an old-fashioned female name. And we were looking for something short and simple and beautiful.
Hi, I'm Brandon Gillis.
And I'm Boris Nemchinuk, and we're the owners of Fiorella.
Boris and I met about 5 years ago.
We had a mutual love for Italian food and wine, and we discussed opening a restaurant in the Richmond district. We set on doing a wood-fired pizza, so we imported a wood-fired oven from Italy, and we got it tiled here with our name on it. And the oven is 5,000 pounds, and so we're on a subfloor here of a few inches. So when they brought it in, the floors started caving in, and the oven was teetering pretty bad.
They actually had to cut a hole in the wall to allow the pizza oven to get through. So it was finally home safe in the corner where it is now, and it's definitely not moving for a really long time.
And we've made quite a few thousand pizzas.
We have made a few thousand pizzas in that oven for sure.
We created Fiorella for the neighborhood. There's a ton of families that live out here.
We really wanted a place that families like us and couples could go to and eat. It's about simple Italian food. It's really approachable.
His passion for Italian food with my passion for Italian wine really is a great partnership.
All right, tell me about Fiorella.
And I'm gonna get all gentle now.
Oh.
So I'm always in search of wood-fired pizza.
Okay.
I love it. I've gone all over the Bay Area looking for it. I'm also obsessed with Instagram. I started seeing these pictures. I thought, God, I know that's wood fired. I can tell by the char. And so sure enough, when I walked in, I have to say it was a warm greeting. I was surprised how friendly it was. So I ordered the margarita pizza. And to me, it was a thing of beauty. And the sauce, it was like a thin brush of the sauce. So it was really about the crust. Sometimes a charred wood fired, it may be too crunchy.
Right.
But this would have that right crunch and then that bite. And the sauce had a little tang, but a little sweetness too.
So I am not a crust girl. Like I never eat crust. Like I'll eat the pizza, but never the crust. I ate every single
That's a testimony.
bite. The yeastiness
Oh,
of it, the
perfect balance.
crunchiness, the balance. I mean, I thought it was divine. It was delicious. I actually got a pie called the Magic Zone, and it's 2 types of cheeses and then some just garlic and spinach. So the cheese is great with like the bitterness and the bite of the garlic, but the reason I even just picked that is because they do a great give back, like a charity, like 10% of the proceeds for this pizza goes back to some community
Just for the Magic
organization. Yeah, that helps the kids. And so I saw that and I said, I love that. I mean, that's why I picked it. I loved it and I ate every bit of it.
Thank you for sharing.
Look at that. You want to get in on this love fest?
So I didn't help the kids with my order, unfortunately. But I helped myself to the burrata pizza. So the concept first, when they told me about the burrata pizza, because I love burrata, because I love cheese, because there never can be too much cheese.
Okay.
It's burrata cheese in the middle, and then you got to do a little work yourself to spread the cheese around. I'm like, okay.
The balance.
Yeah,
That's the way it's
I was
done
like,
in
this
Italy.
is an opportunity for me to put some more cheese on my side of the pizza. So I took advantage of that situation. I tell you, again, my wife, she loves pizza, so this was,
The best pizza ever.
the best pizza ever.
This week.
You got to treat your wife.
Yeah.
I just do what she says.
Okay,
That's how I keep out of
smart
trouble.
man,
There you go.
smart man.
So
Absolutely.
did anybody else have anything besides a pie?
goodness.
Can I talk? Okay.
Yeah, you can.
I had the pasta pomodoro, and once again, real Italian food is simple.
Right.
And it was al dente. Oh, I die for al dente.
Yeah.
Because the chew, and you have to get it just right.
And those
The actual
2 seconds
kitchen,
matter.
They literally do
sure they
matter.
do.
And then, because it's going to cook again, it was piping hot. It was the steam was coming, and then that really nice chew, just right. And it was absolutely the best pasta that I've had.
Now, what about appetizers?
We first started out with, there was chicken wings. Oh, the chicken wings.
Those are
cooked
so good.
to perfection. The crispiness of the skin on the outside. Look at you. I think there's something happening between us right now. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Excuse me.
Oh my
do we
gosh.
need to get a room?
My wife is going to get upset.
No, let's bring your wife. Let's bring your wife.
Now it's getting crazy.
Yeah,
Now it's a party.
now it's right up her alley.
Okay then. So moving on to the second appetizer. Actually, I think we had 4 appetizers. So we really did it. So
I'm so glad.
we had the tuna spread. You put it on some bread. The brininess. It's so good. And then I had the meatballs. You got to have meatballs if you're going to an Italian spot. And then meatballs. Unbelievable. Fantastic again.
Talk a little bit about what you guys washed it all down with.
Great recommendations from the waiter and great service. We even asked about the wallpaper, which was anytime you have E40 on wallpaper.
On the wall.
Alice
And Alice Waters.
Alice Waters and Mac
Too
Dre.
Short and Mac
Exactly.
Dre.
Same
Who does
wallpaper.
that?
Yeah.
That's
I
my
looked it
kind
up.
of place.
I'm like,
I looked
we're
it up too.
buying
Of
this.
course, no. I
We're
looked it
buying
up.
this.
You can
Same
actually
thing.
buy the
God.
wallpaper.
But back to the wine.
It had a wonderful Italian wine list, especially for a neighborhood Italian place.
Absolutely.
Somebody who's buying wine is doing a really good job. And I have beautiful Barbera. I just went. I didn't even ask anyone.
You're
I was
pretty
like,
safe
it's gonna be good.
with it being
Yeah.
Italian wine.
Yeah,
You're pretty
exactly.
safe. So let's talk about dessert.
We ordered a few different desserts, but the only one that stood out shockingly to me was the buttermilk panna cotta with honey. And it's such a simple thing, but the sourness of the buttermilk and the smoothness and then like the honey and everything, it was just like the perfect mix.
Refreshing ending.
Yeah, exactly.
We had I forgot. It was a lemon.
Oh, I know it. Meyer lemon almond warm ricotta cake. Oh.
Well, no wonder you can't remember.
That
with
was
a strawberry
that was better than
jam.
the chocolate dessert. It was fantastic.
This is your restaurant. Wrap it up for us.
Goodness, if you want a little bit of your own cheers in a neighborhood and authentic Italian food, especially the wood-fired pizza and anything they put in that pizza oven, this is the restaurant for you.
All right, and Lisa.
I would say pies, wine, and that wallpaper. I mean, just go. It's the best place.
And Peter.
if you're not scared of hipsters and really great 80s music that they play, go to Fiorella to have anything that comes out of that wood-fired oven as the best thing you've ever had.
All right, if you would like to try Fiorella, it's on Clement Street at 25th in San Francisco. The telephone number is 415-340-3049. It's open every day for dinner, lunch on Friday with brunch on the weekends. Reservations are recommended, and the average dinner tab per person without drinks is around $30. So I have to thank my fabulous guests on this week's show, Lisa Barker, who washes down pimento cheese and crackers with plenty of bubbles at Bounty Hunter Wine Bar and Smokin BBQ in Napa. And after he polishes off his steak frite, Peter Winecoop always saves room for classic French desserts at RêVE in Lafayette. Finally, foodie show host Phyllis Bowie delights in the hip neighborhood vibe and authentic wood-fired pizzas at Fiorella in San Francisco. So join us next time when 3 new guests will recommend their favorite spots right here on Check Please Bay Area. I'm Leslie Sbrocco, and I'll see you then. Everyone, woo! Cheers! Woo! Cheers!
So now it's your turn. We want to hear from you if you visited any of our Check Please restaurants. You can post a selfie on Instagram, join the conversation on Facebook, and tweet us anytime. And don't forget to visit our website. All the shows are there, along with my wine videos and notes about the wines we drink on set. You'll also find our fun new web series, Taste This, where we celebrate food and drinks around the Bay. Cheers.
Check Please Bay Area is made possible by the members of KQED and by Oakland International Airport, now with flights all over the world. iFlyOAK.com. IRG has thousands of surfaces in stock now. Surfaces. Selection, service, IRG at marblecompany.com. Total Wine & More offering more than 8,000 wines, 2,500 beers, and 3,000 spirits. Total Wine & More now with 7 Bay Area locations. TotalWine.com.
Sutter Health CPMC, the new Mission Bernal Hospital, opens August 2018 with all private rooms and comprehensive maternity services. CPMC2020.org.
Redwood Credit Union, community banking for the North Bay and San Francisco. Business and personal, online and mobile, plus nationwide ATMs. Banking for people who call this place home.